What are you smiling at?
Oh, you know.
He's thinking about the kids he's got back at his house. He's going to turn into little walruses. I should have kept that for the podcast.
You can still throw it in.
I'm Barnum and Bailey.
Jeez.
Swim, motherfuckers.
Swim, my pretties!
Oh.
God damn it, I gotta stop saying stuff.
Hello, welcome to TJD Movie Reviews.
I'm Ty.
Jake.
I'm Drew.
Episode 10, we watched Tusk.
Directed by Kevin Smith.
What the fuck did I just watch?
I like how you just jumped right
I can't wait. What the fuck did I just watch?
Well, it was a movie about a walrus named Wallace.
Wallace the Walrus. Had I known going into it that he wasn't taking it seriously, then I wouldn't have felt as bad laughing at everything I did.
I don't know. I never listened to any of his smodcasts. If people don't know Kevin Smith, he has this podcast empire along with his movies that he does. And in one of his podcasts, he kind of came up with this idea for this movie because of something he saw on Craigslist where, and I'm paraphrasing the story, but for the most part, somebody jokingly was looking for a roommate and they said, hey, free rent, free all this, but while you're at the house and I am there, you have to dress as a walrus. And then they kind of ran with it, and they kept making jokes about that whole fact of having to be a walrus. And then they kind of turned it into this horror movie that, not so much horror. I mean, there is some horror elements to it, but just crazy, absurd shit that went down.
And I think the way he talked about it, like, everything that was so absurd, like, you knew that was just him just trying to fuck with people.
Yeah.
It kind of took the human centipede thing. Didn't make it as disgusting as that movie is, though.
No.
But and kind of had some fun with it.
Justin Long is a huge asshole in this movie.
Yeah, there's nothing redeemable
I
about
didn't
Justin
give
Long.
a shit that... I was actually rooting for him to carve him into a walrus.
You were. It was kind of crazy. I think we accidentally gave you an idea of what you're going to do to the children now.
Mm-hmm. Do you,
all the scraps.
do you guys want to summarize the movie?
Yeah, I'll go ahead since this was my pick. I'll summarize this. So, Justin Long and Haley Joel Osment are podcasters. Haley Joel Osment doesn't ever leave. The whole reason for their podcast is Haley Joel Osment never leaves Los Angeles. He never travels, or he won't travel by plane. He won't travel much. So the whole thing is Justin Long then goes to all these places. He gets an interesting story, brings it back. They do the podcast. Pretty much Justin Long is a dickhead version of Kevin Smith. And Haley Joel Osment seems to be a mixture of several of his friends.
Walt Flanagan, who you might know from Comic Book Men. Scott Mosier, who does the Smodcast with Kevin. And maybe one or two others. But the whole thing is Justin Long goes to Canada because there's this YouTube sensation kid who accidentally lops off his leg, which was kind of funny. That looked like shit, by the way.
I was just gonna say the special effects look like crap, but it's kind of funny.
It was like reminiscent of the Star Wars kid, except with a katana blade.
Yeah,
they called him the Kill Bill Kid.
Mm-hmm. Which, fun fact, Michael Parks, I guess, who plays the crazy old man in this movie, was in both Kill Bill movies.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. I didn't remember him from those films, but I don't know what part he played.
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, but anyways, the kid ends up, when Justin Long gets up to Canada, the kid has offed himself because he couldn't take the
oh, what do you want to say? The ridicule that he was receiving?
With the worst crying mother I've ever heard in anything ever.
Yeah.
Well, that was just 10 times better.
You were starting to sound like a walrus there, Jake.
I am the walrus.
But Justin Long then is trying to find a story. He can't, he came all the way to Canada, has no story now. And he goes into a bar and he sees on one of those plaque boards that this guy's looking for a roommate. He has all these stories to tell, but he needs somebody to take over managing the house for him since he now is immobilized. And so Justin Long just calls him up and says, hey, I'm not interested in the house or, the room, but I'm interested in your stories. Goes to meet Michael Parks, who's this crazy old coot who's now in a wheelchair. And next thing you know, Justin Long, being his brash self, this brash dick of a podcaster, gets into these stories. And
he's a fucking douchebag.
He is a giant douchebag. Yeah. I never noticed that the first time watching this. This is my second time seeing this film. He is a dick.
Like, that's apparent. How did you not see that?
I don't know. I think I kind of just shut off my brain and just was like, I'm just going to not think too deeply about this film.
I was waiting for the redeemable qualities, but I never found anything. Like, he cheats on his girlfriend. He's a fucking...
smoking hot girlfriend.
Yeah, smoking hot girlfriend. Yeah. I was going to say not that matters, but maybe it matters.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't cheat on that. Not that I would cheat at all, but...
Which is what Haley Joel Osment said. You're an idiot to do that. And he's like, oh, bro, I'm going to get all this roadhead in Canada. They'll be like, eh?
Yeah, she's like... there's like, we have this fantastic podcast, but these other girls are like maybe a little bit chunkier and stuff, but they're really pasty. Sexual. Yeah. Like, what a fucking asshole.
They try harder, I guess, because they're a little chunkier or something. They're fangirls. But
and then even when he needs something, he's asking for, like, the notepad. He's, like, snapping at him and, hey, can you put those down? Hashtag whatever. And
Hashtag Degrassi.
Yeah.
Something
and then they make fun of his mustache, which was actually pretty funny. And he was like, you guys are mean, or whatever he said.
You guys suck.
Yeah. It's like, well, you're the biggest cunt I've ever seen, so...
We're literally watching this, and Jake's the whole time just, when does he turn him into one? He deserves it.
Let's get to cooking up that walrus.
He's like, I actually am rooting for the old guy.
I was starting to get mad. I'm like, there's not enough walrus so far. There needs to be walrus, damn it. Because fuck this character.
No, Justin Long isn't very redeemable at all. But, like, it's still not cool what happens to him, though. Like, he doesn't ask for that to happen to him.
I thought it was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Not the movie, just the...
Oh, what happens to him?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty fantastic.
I enjoyed every minute of it. And then he's screaming that... Dude, I was laughing my ass off over here. Well, I might buy this movie.
Don't buy this movie.
She was like, we need to draw a line there.
Don't get me wrong, dude. I love Kevin Smith. He's a great director. Don't buy this movie.
Hey, he's his own individual person. He can do what he wants with his money. If he feels this movie is worth owning, let him own it.
Yeah, it's my money. I'll use it when I need it.
I'm pretty sure if you do that, then you're probably not rational enough to make any good decisions, and you should sign your power of attorney to me now.
Drew, I have a racing wheel. Obviously, I can't make
you have no self-control.
Yeah.
Can you sign this document saying I have power over your attorney, and we'll send you back to the mental hospital where you currently reside?
Yeah, just send me the affidavit.
Yeah.
But Michael Parks, the old guy, drugs Justin Long, and then systematically starts changing him into a walrus.
Michael Parks is fucking great.
Oh, Michael Parks is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of the character, like, I'd want to be there to see him read it the first time and look at Kevin and be like, what the fuck is this? And Kevin would be like, no, just do it the best you can. It'll be really good. And then he fucking knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, he was a psycho.
He was weird as shit.
Well, Jake, you and I both have seen Red State.
Yeah.
And Michael Parks is in that. Drew has not seen it. He goes fucking crazy in that as well.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, balls to the wall. Like, holy shit, I believe this guy is fucking insane. And he is, besides Dan Aykroyd, I think he's the best part of that film.
Yeah, he was good.
And really, you could say he's the best part because Dan Aykroyd's part is very small, but I mean, Dan Aykroyd even acts his ass off in that.
He does what he can. Mm-hmm. Can't give him too much credit.
Dan Aykroyd or Michael Parks?
Dan Aykroyd.
Okay. Or not Dan Aykroyd. Holy shit. John Goodman. Oh my god. I was saying Dan Aykroyd, and it was John Goodman in Red State.
We're going to cut all this.
Wow.
Yeah. My apologies to John Goodman.
You just compared something good to something garbage.
Did you say he compared something Goodman?
Oh gosh.
This podcast is over. Guys,
Thanks for listening this week.
This is the penultimate finale. We're done after this. I'm going into retirement.
No, now we have to have two walruses duke it out.
Alright, but the whole movie is then it starts cutting into flashbacks between Justin Long's girlfriend and her confession of her feelings, and then Haley Joel Osment appears to be around with her a lot too.
He said that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, they don't show it at first.
Mm-hmm. But if you look at, I mean, the way they kind of, I don't know if they were actually sleeping together or they're just, cuddle buddies. Or
nah, whatever. He's hitting it.
Regardless, if I'm in Canada and you're coming over and sleeping in bed with my wife...
Girlfriend.
Oh, excuse me. Then it's totally fine. I wouldn't care at all. No, I would care. I would care a lot.
Even if you were cheating on your girlfriend?
Yeah, I'd still care. I would never cheat on my girlfriend, though, because, I'm not a piece of shit.
You're not Justin Long?
Yeah. I'm not scoping pasty fat chicks.
You're not Wallace the Walrus?
But...
God, what a horrible character.
They
just a piece of shit.
Then they also... Johnny Depp arrives, and Johnny Depp is also really great in this film.
He was crazy.
He was really just this odd former police detective for the Quebec county, I guess.
He's just kind of this kooky Frenchman.
Mm-hmm.
Super weird.
He had a run-in with Michael Parks. Like, he's been trying to hunt him down for years, and he keeps just missing him, and he actually stumbles upon him, and it's kind of a funny, entertaining story when you've seen the bad guy's character through this whole thing, and then all of a sudden he's this different guy, and he's acting like this redneck.
Talking like he was mentally impaired or something.
Some Canadian redneck.
There's a brown recluse spider in that hole over there.
Pretty much, yeah. You hit it out of the park.
It's not hard for me.
Yeah. But the whole thing is then Justin Long finally gets in this walrus suit. And the look on Drew's face
was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
It was...
I've never seen a movie have that effect on a person. Like, watching... Drew's head was going 1,000,000 miles an hour, and he's just... What is happening right now?
I don't know. You know what? I think people need to watch this movie at least one time.
Yeah.
To get the full effect, because when you see Justin Long in that fucking walrus suit,
your brain cannot comprehend.
I almost had an aneurysm. Like,
your jaw was literally agape. It had dropped.
I didn't know. I didn't know what to think at all.
I've never seen that look on someone's face. Like, if I opened the front door of my house and saw a fucking alien in the front yard, it wouldn't be as bewildered as... Drew's face. I'll cut your name. I fucked up.
You want to tell people my address, too?
It's 123... Fuck you.
Drew, give out your social while you're at it.
Yeah, and it's 123456789.
1112.
Yeah.
Some guy somewhere just got his identity stolen.
How bad would it suck to have the social 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9?
Reminds me of Spaceballs.
Every application you write it on, they're just like, if you're not going to take this fucking seriously, you can just fuck right off, guy. No, that's really it.
What's the combination to the airlock? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the same combination on my luggage.
Change the combination on my luggage.
What kind of idiot with that? What's that as their combination? But I digress from Spaceballs. Another great comedy. But, yeah,
Oh, is this one of the great comedies?
well, to you it seemed to be.
I enjoyed it quite a bit. It gave me a lot of inspiration as well.
Oh, gosh, that was great. Jake had a laughing fit. Whereas I didn't laugh during Riccio, and Jake didn't laugh during Spies Like Us.
But I slept.
Yeah, but he slept. This movie made up for those missing laughs. Because I was not only laughing at Drew and Jake's laughter, Jake was just dying at any scene that Justin Long was in once the walrus suit happens.
I couldn't take it seriously.
I don't think you're supposed to either.
Well, yeah, I think that's part of it.
And I think that's part of the problem with people, so they're begrudging it just because they don't understand Kev's mentality behind the movie.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to have a good time. He was like,
yeah, it's like a tongue-in-cheek.
I think Kev's one of those guys that, like, he's sitting at home with his buddies one night, and he's like, you know what would be really fucking weird to watch? And then he just goes and makes it.
Well, and think about it, like, from any other standpoint, like, what filmmaker can, like, just hang out with his buddies and be like, hey, what if we did a movie about a guy who turns into a walrus?
I mean, Adam Sandler, if he wanted to.
It's true.
Yeah, but, I don't know. You're not seeing a lot of filmmakers just be like, you make a movie on a whim and then they do it. Like, usually you have to go through a lot of different channels. You have to talk to film production companies and get the green light. But Kevin's established enough where he can do what he wants.
They made this movie on the cheap. Like, what did I say the budget was? Like
$2 million.
$2 million. It's not like they were really making much of a risk investment.
No.
Honestly, for $2 million, the walrus suit looks interesting. It dances a fine line between it looks like shit and it looks kind of okay. Like, I was really on the fence about it.
I did like when they do close-ups, you can see, like, other body parts. Because if you didn't notice, when Justin Long arrives, he has the paper from the tack board where Michael Parks put that, I'm looking for a roommate, all this. And he had, like, those little things you can rip off to give him a call. He brought the whole thing and he showed it to him and you had several ripped off. Mm-hmm. Well, to make this suit, he used human skin, so obviously he had other victims. And you can tell on the walrus, like, there's ears, there's just folds of the skin where there might have been a hand or a nose as such.
He's like Leatherface if he worked for SeaWorld.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Am I wrong?
Well, he himself is not Leatherface. Because Leatherface is the one who had the leather face. Like,
that's true. You've got me there.
My God.
He's like Leatherface if he made everyone else dress like SeaWorld?
Wait. No. I would say he's more like, not Sideshow Bob. Oh, God.
What the fuck? What Simpsons did you watch?
Silence of the Lambs. What's his name?
Oh, Hannibal Lecter?
Not Hannibal.
Oh, Buffalo Bill?
Buffalo Bill.
She big fat girl.
If Buffalo Bill, instead of making the suit for himself, made it for someone else to then put them in SeaWorld.
Hey, can you help me put this couch in the back of my car?
Are you sure you weren't, like, real life inspiration for that character?
Well, put the fucking lotion in the basket. That's a fucked up movie.
Do you have a well in your basement, Jake?
Nope. Not yet.
What about
He's already got the suits. He's already said it from last podcast.
What about a small little floating rock surrounded by water?
No. Gotta put that in.
He has 2 walruses fighting for the death.
It's in the weekend plan. Gotta get that shit in there.
Now, what do you think of the whole inspiration Michael Park's character had for making?
Oh, you mean the World War II story about cuddling up with a walrus that he had to eat?
Well, it was after World War II. World War II was the Hemingway story.
Oh, that's right.
This was it was like 1950s. And they were searching for that giant shark or whatever, the great white Siberian shark.
And he falls overboard.
Well, no, the boat.
Oh, the boat went down?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. And then he washes up on the rocks.
He was saved by the walrus.
Which he ate to stay alive.
Eventually, yes.
Interesting.
One thing about Michael Parks, and it was kind of hard to see because he's like going off on these big, what do you want to call them? Just these
tangents?
Not a tangent, because he's just going off with his story.
It's like these monologues.
That's where he's going off on these big monologues. And no offense, Jake, it was a little hard to hear because you kept just seeing Justin Long going, and you're just laughing your ass off, but I can't really hear Michael Parks give why.
Oh, I'm sorry, you couldn't hear the exposition in this walrus movie?
Yes.
Oh, I apologize.
Now he'll never know why he had that emotional attachment to that walrus.
Actually, I think it was more, man,
It was respect.
Yeah, man was a beast. And he thought he had found a beast that was better.
And then you know how they do suicide by cop? This guy wanted suicide by walrus because he he wanted to give the walrus. He wanted to see the walrus take that back from him. Drew's face. You never heard of suicide by walrus? It happened just the other day. Up at Bag and Save.
Are you high?
No. I'm joking.
I don't think
that isn't normal. I do think it was suicide by walrus, though.
The whole thing is he wants to break this person down, who he puts in the suit, and make them become a walrus. That is his point. Is he wants them to become a walrus so that he felt he robbed Mr. Tusk, the walrus that saved him, of a life and an opportunity to defend himself, because I think he killed him while he was sleeping, and so he didn't actually give him a chance.
So he wanted to give it back.
Yeah.
Obviously, totally mentally ill.
Yes. I don't know about totally, but... I'm kidding.
No, he is.
You were flabbergasted.
Fortunately, you are not a psychiatrist.
And fortunately enough, you're not supposed to be around little kids.
Well, Mr. Lecter, I think we're done here. Why don't you get back out on the road? Have a good weekend.
Oh, but yeah. That's his whole driving point, I think, is he wants to make a walrus so that they may have a chance to fight him and kill him. Like, not necessarily he wants to die, because obviously he could have died at any time.
Wait. We should start a walrus fight club. You gotta start a walrus fight club with me. I had too much fun watching this movie.
What's the first rule of Walrus Fight Club?
What the fuck just happened? I can't believe you showed me this movie. I can't believe it exists.
Okay, so
I haven't seen it yet.
So Justin Long turns in to this walrus and is left alone for like, I don't know, how many days would you say that from when he contacted his girlfriend and Haley Joel Osment saying this guy's fucking with me and is going to turn me into an animal?
At least a week, I think.
That's what I was going to say. A week and a half.
They went from California up to Canada.
That
right?
Because say he was in Canada for a day. She said it had been then
3 days.
When he got his leg cut off, and he called them that night. It had been 3 days.
No,
yeah, she said it had been 3 days.
Yeah, he hasn't talked to me in 3 days.
So
I remember that.
Yeah.
So there's 4, and that night after he get hit over the head by the giant walrus penis, and got knocked out is when Michael Parks started turning him into the walrus. You
want to clarify the walrus penis bit that you just threw out there?
Sorry. So when Justin Long first arrived and he's listening to these stories Michael Parks is giving him, there on the mantle is this giant long wooden, what looks like a wooden stick or something,
right.
Petrified wood or something. He's like, oh, what's this? And he's talking about it, and he's like, oh, so walrus penis. And he's like, what?
No, I don't think it's actually a walrus.
No,
it's like a part of a bone
that is in
them.
the penis. Yeah. Yes, it's not the actual penis, but it is in the penis. It's part of a bone. He said, every other mammal seems to have it, but man, or a lot of mammals have it, but man is excluded. Man, I cannot talk.
Mama.
I just wanted you to clarify that there's no bestiality of penis, walrus. Yeah.
I bet you didn't.
A walrus made of penises.
I bet you didn't think we were going to have a discussion about walrus penis tonight. It happened.
I'm so happy.
This is everything you wanted.
This is everything I wanted. I didn't know that I wanted it, but now I know.
Oh.
Holy shit.
This is all for you, Damien.
Listener, watch this movie. This is have a couple drinks and watch it with some people that want to have a good time.
And don't take it seriously.
Yeah. If you watch it alone and you're like, wow, this is the next Halloween, you're going to have a bad time.
But the tangent I was going on with the fact that how long it was when they contacted him, how the fuck does it take only 7 days for Justin Long to just completely shut down as a person?
Well, if you look at it, I mean, he was kind of a dick of a person to begin with. Did he really have much fortitude? I mean, he couldn't break up with his girlfriend. He kept constantly cheating on her.
Wow, you're getting deep into
breaking down Justin Long and his mental state. I just don't think he had much of a mental fortitude, and he just was like, I have to live. So it started out with that eating of the mackerel. Then it was fight for survival by that swim test. And then it just came into him just something snapping. And
even though if I was a walrus, I'd just be like, yeah, I'm out. Like, I'm gonna kill myself. Like, and even at that point, if I was kept alive, and I see other people and I see a way out, I would snap back.
Picturing Drew as a walrus.
Like, I don't know. I don't know.
A Drew-rus. Guys, we should become walruses. Actually, no. Let's not do that.
Say, Jake,
it doesn't seem like a fun life.
Did the hospital not give you your meds today?
No, they ran out.
I know what I'm gonna be when I grow up. A walrus.
Now, did he give him one of those bones?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I distinctly remember the first time he wakes up, though, and he's polishing that tooth in the corner.
Yeah. Well, no,
for a minute, you're like, what the fuck?
Which you find out now, it was his tibia bone.
Oh.
Because that was his tusk.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And, oh, God. He did bring that wooden petrified whatever, that stick, with him down there when they were fighting.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he was about to hit him over the head with it. He's like, now you didn't fight back or whatever. You didn't fight hard enough. He's about to hit him, and then Justin Long sinks one of his tusks into the guy's foot and makes him trip.
Yeah. But
that was crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Watching Justin Long in a walrus suit, getting his face sprayed with blood as he slams his face into an old man on the floor. Wow.
Just impales an old man repeatedly with
tusks. You're missing the whole part. Is there is an amazing walrus fight scene where Michael Parks himself has his own walrus suit and is fighting Justin Long in his walrus suit. Which, again...
it's like Power Rangers.
Again, it was hilarious to hear Jake laughing the whole time. And again, I couldn't hear.
That fight was fucking hilarious.
That part was better than anything in Spies Like Us.
Oh yeah, I would watch this every day, all day, over Spies Like Us.
What about Mystery Men?
Yeah.
Riccio?
No. I like Riccio. Riccio doesn't have people as walruses. It's got everything else, but it doesn't have that.
I'm not gonna lie. I had no intention of ever watching this film, ever.
I'll probably watch it again.
Just because it reminded me way too much of Human Centipede, and I wasted an hour and a half of my life watching that movie that I'll never get back.
Never saw it.
I never saw it. I saw Daniel Tosh's breakdown.
That's all you need. That's all you need to see.
Which was pretty funny. But I really don't... From the way he described it, I don't think it except for the turning him into a walrus bit, it's nothing like Human Centipede. But like I said, Michael Parks goes off on these little monologues about why he's doing what he's doing, trying to justify it. Not to say that he's in the right to do it, but just, it's interesting to hear why this psychotic man is deciding to do this to this guy. Well, not just to him, he's done it to several people, because as they show, there's another former walrus in the water already. When
he's swimming?
Yes, Justin Long's drowning as his walrus body in one of his first attempts to swim.
What was the line that made me laugh? Something about, if you're going to be a walrus, you're going to learn to swim. And then he hits the thing and the chain starts pulling him
into the water.
Justin Long's like, oh my god. This movie's outstanding. Not since Schindler's List have I been so moved by a film.
Hopefully you didn't laugh during that.
Oh yeah. No, that's fucked up. I won't even joke about that. But no, I laughed a lot during this one. Oh my god. I probably will buy it.
I remember when I went and saw this when it opened in theaters. I was so ready for it. I was like, Kevin Smith doing a horror film. I didn't listen to Kevin Smith or any of Kevin Smith's stuff at the time.
I got a question. What was the turnout?
There?
Yeah,
at the
was
theater?
it like a full theater?
No.
Nowhere near? Just like...
It was about half full.
Half full?
But
okay.
it was one of the smaller theaters. It wasn't the... Because it was opening weekend.
Okay.
And it wasn't one of the big theaters. It was one of the smaller ones, and it was only about half full.
I ask because it seems like a very niche movie.
Well, I don't even think the people who were in front of me, because it was released around Halloween when it came out in 2014. I think they were looking for a horror movie, and I thought it would be more of a horror movie than it was. Which, in that aspect, when I was first watching it, not knowing what to expect, there were some horror elements. Like yes, Justin Long was a dick, but I'm like, gosh, does he deserve that? And like, how creepy would that be? You go somewhere and all of a sudden your leg is gone. The next thing you know, you're getting hit over the head with a walrus penis bone, and then you wake up and you're stuck in this suit with no tongue.
Sounds like Friday night.
Whose?
At Jake's house, ladies.
You can come in, but you can't leave.
You can't leave. You'll be in a walrus suit for the rest of your life.
Me and Henry Dorley have an arrangement.
The safe word is... If you can do that, then Jake will stop, but...
Wow. I don't even know what to say to that. I'll stop what?
I don't know.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
My safe word is foliage.
Foliage? That's a very interesting safe word.
Banana hammock.
Alrighty then. What did we like about this?
Michael Parks and Johnny Depp are the top two things I love about this film. Johnny Depp, we haven't even really talked about his part, but
We touched on it a little bit.
but I mean, it is kind of a smaller part, But he is funny to me in this film. I think Kevin said, do whatever the hell you want. And he was like, all right.
He's really good at being eccentric.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to see him in something where he can kind of be as weird as he wants and not be, under contract by fucking Disney and Tim Burton, where you can kind of be weird, but you can't be too weird, where it's kind of creepy.
What are you talking about? That freaking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory remake was freaking... He creeped me the hell out.
Because he seemed like a fucking pedophile.
He seemed like freaking Michael Jackson.
Exactly,
Allegedly.
pedophile.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I wish Gene Wilder went to Tim Burton's house and beat the shit out of him.
That was a
And
shitty
he
ass
gives
remake.
that speech during the tunnel scene where he cuts the chicken's head off.
Yeah.
Where he's like, there's no knowing
Yeah.
how fast we're going. He's just beating the shit out of him. I want that movie.
And the Edward Scissorhands, I mean, he comes off as totally creepy in that film as well.
Yeah, it was weird.
But, yeah, I think Kevin said, do whatever the hell you want. In which originally Johnny Depp's character was supposed to be Quentin Tarantino. But he didn't feel he should do it. He said he wanted to see Michael Parks and do his role because he's like, he's going to hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
But he's like, I can't do the other one. So
Yeah, he said he just wasn't looking for acting stuff at the time, and
mm-hmm.
Hateful Eight came out a year or two later, so...
2 years later.
Which I like Johnny in this role. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think he did a decent job. And I'm not a big fan of Quentin acting. I'm just not. Directing, the man is a genius. He knows what he's doing, but I don't think he can act his way out of a paper bag.
Reservoir Dogs.
He can take him. I can take him or leave him.
Pulp Fiction.
No.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
I didn't like him in Pulp Fiction.
No?
Nah.
From
Other
Dusk
than those two, I didn't... Well, From Dusk Till Dawn is pretty good.
That one I didn't see, so I don't have any gauge on that. But
Younger George Clooney. It's a very enjoyable film.
I'm just saying everything I've ever seen of him, I wasn't impressed. But
Neck tattoo George Clooney.
He was also in Django Unchained for that.
Quentin?
Yeah, wasn't he? He was
Yeah,
one of the
he's-
Slade guys, yeah.
The one that blew up with all the dynamite.
I'll have to go back and watch it. He could act better than me. I'll give him that.
Have you tried?
Not really. I mean, there was this one film in college.
Oh?
Yeah, uncredited.
Really?
Yeah, only a few people saw it.
Where you're eating roast beef in the corner?
Yeah.
You're like, God, I'm fat. By your stage name, Terry Hogan. He's gonna sue us now. Son of a bitch. Gotta tag the Hulk now.
The Hulk or Hulk Hogan?
The Incredible Hulk. You have to tag the Incredible Hulk Hogan.
Imagine Lou Ferrigno drinking morning coffee going, what the fuck? Typed in his own name.
Why am I trending on YouTube?
Our two listeners got us trending. That's the funniest part.
I wasn't in the movie Tusk.
Guys, we're an overnight sensation. They finally found us.
I thought you were going to go a different direction with that whole film thing. Or your acting. So, thought maybe...
I mean, you were referring to a sex tape, right?
Yeah.
Like a porno, yeah.
That was the joke?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
the joke, yeah.
I
don't really have one. It was a joke.
Drew was originally Marty McFly. And they cut him. They had to refilm with...
They call me Calvin. You know, Calvin Klein. Like,
yeah.
God, Lee Thompson's hot in that movie. Which is totally fucking weird. But I don't care.
We can talk about Back to the Future now.
But yeah, the Michael Parks, Johnny Depp were my two favorite parts of this film.
I agree with that. I really liked both of them. They were definitely the standouts. I thought pacing was fairly good. You know, I was never really bored. It kind of kept going. The beginning got a little weird with pacing, where he kept just telling stories and he's drinking coffee, but I think part of that's because he's such an insufferable bitch, and I hate him so much that I was just like, fucking come on, let's get walrusing up in this bitch. But
they got in there pretty quick.
Yeah, relatively quick.
You know what? The runtime is also, I think, perfect. It is like an hour and a half. It's like 90 minutes.
That's all you need.
Yeah. It gets its job done in 90 minutes very easily.
You don't need the Godfather of walrus movies.
This is the Godfather of walrus movies.
Actually, yeah.
Name a better one.
I can't think of any walrus
March
movies.
of the Walruses?
March of the Walruses?
I was just saying, like, March of the Penguins.
March of the Penguins.
Oh, I really got confused.
Yeah, you've never seen March of the Walruses?
Has it been walruses all these years?
They got Denzel Washington to narrate that one.
Yeah.
Walrus, I didn't know you liked to get wet.
Wet? What's wet?
We just mixed Training Day with Walrus movie. I love our podcast.
Some things I liked about it. I liked a lot of the shots. I think Kevin knows how to frame up a shot pretty decently. I think you guys even said at some points some of the shots look Tarantino-esque.
Yeah, there's a part where they kick the door open, like, mainly Haley Joel Osment and his girlfriend coming to get him, where the door would fling open and it would zoom in real quick. Really reminded me of, like, something Tarantino would do.
And then the staircase.
When they look over and it zooms up at them.
Uh-huh. Some other stuff. I know that Kevin really didn't take this movie seriously at all. And just the absurdity of some of the things that he did. You know, he took a lot of liberties with this movie, and just the parts where they're just it's just so absurd. I loved it. Just like the scene when you first see Justin Long in the water, you're just like, what the fuck is this? But it's amazing at the same time.
It was one of those, I didn't think we'd ever see the whole suit. Because I didn't know that he'd go through the trouble of making it. But then you just see it out of nowhere and you're like, oh my god.
It's really hard to explain the suit. I mean, I guess you could Google image it.
Don't do it because
it'll spoil it.
Yes. Watch the movie and just wait for that scene to happen. And you'll just be like, wow. Alright.
Like, they just give... That's the thing I love about it, is, like, they'll give, like, little glimpses here and there. Like, they kind of pan... like, kind of around the body. They don't give you the full scope. They just give you bits and pieces. And then you see them.
It's almost comparable to the end of Saw when he stands up and you're like, oh, it's Christmas!
This is what I've been waiting for.
They said we couldn't make Justin Long an actor. But by God, we did it.
Oh, we couldn't make him an actor, but we could make him a walrus.
But yeah,
I'm a PC. And I'm a walrus. That should have been the trailer for this movie. I would have been fucking sold. I would have been there opening weekend.
Why didn't you go opening weekend?
That's a good question. I do remember reading early reviews, and they were not favorable. Not that I read reviews and go by that, but it's just one of those that I kind of just put off because other stuff was out that I really wanted to go see, and it just kind of getting further and further pushed back, and then by the time I was ready to go, it was already gone. So then I was like, well, I'll just watch it, on DVD or something, and I'm glad I did. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to give it a 10.
No. But, I'm going to give it a 15.
Right.
Taking this bitch to an 11.
No, it was enjoyable, and I did forget to mention, I had a lot of fun. Like, I was laughing. I was completely enthralled by this movie. No. But that's me. I'm a fucking lunatic. And I like dumb, weird shit, and it was.
Now, what's something we didn't like about this film? For me, and I think Drew pointed this out, some of the acting by Genesis Rodriguez, I think this was her first movie, but I could be wrong. And Haley Joel Osment, like, they're very bad at reacting. Yeah. They are. Like, Johnny Depp when they first meet him, he's telling him the story about how he came so close to busting this guy, and the terrible stuff that's going on, that they don't even shed a tear, they aren't like a gasp or anything, they're just like, all right, we're listening to a story.
When he's describing, like, all of the little things, like the victims and stuff he found, like limbs severed, arms fused to the body.
The torso was blocking the sewer.
All this
and
stuff.
he even says he's probably going to be the next victim.
Yeah, he's killed 23 people.
He's
He's probably going to be 24 if we don't hurry up.
And her face was just like,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, Haley Joel Osment. You know he can act. He could. Like, come on, man. Show me something.
Mm-hmm. The ending also, the very ending was kind of bad.
Do you mean amazing?
you had different ending in mind that would have been more amazing.
Oh, when he shoots him with the shotgun and it just cuts to the credits?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you, that would have been a 10. I'd have been like, this is the best fucking movie I've ever seen.
I still think they could have made it better. If I said, like I said earlier, the Jan Silent Bob cameo.
The cameo.
Oh, that would have been fucking.
Yeah, that would have been great. I mean, as long as he's taking liberties with the movie, why not?
Ethan Suplee walks up to the fence. And he's like, "What the fuck is up with that walrus, man?
Fuck's up with that sea lion? It's a walrus. Shut up!
It's a sailboat, idiot." Yeah, some of the acting is bad. And some of it didn't have to be. Like, there was a tiny part with a crying woman in the beginning. For fuck's sake, get that woman out of there, because she was dog shit. To the point where it was distracting, and it totally sucked me out of everything. You're just listening, like, this is really bad. This is like a middle school play version of, emotion.
I was going to say middle school play of a walrus.
Well, she kind of sounded like a walrus with how she was sobbing.
Just foreshadowing. Yeah, that was a little rough. Some of the CG was rough. That kid getting his leg cut off.
Oh, that was good. That fucking sucked. That was terrible.
I mean, I didn't say anything because it was still early and I didn't want to upset Ty. But
no, it was bad.
Yeah,
I knew it. You weren't going to upset me.
Kind of cringed, like, ooh, that was unexpectedly shitty right there. And it didn't have to be. They literally could have just been like, they could have pretended they were watching a video.
Or they could have, like, cut away or something like that, where to that point, the kid could have just been screaming.
Right, and make the comment, oh, he cut his leg off.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have to show it, and it probably would have saved him money, but I don't know, he wanted to show it, whatever. Maybe that was part of Kevin's thing. Kevin's kind of weird. Maybe he was like, yeah, we'll make it really shitty, and people will laugh at how shitty it is. I don't know. But,
There was one other thing. I wish they had made Justin Long's character a little bit more redeeming.
I don't.
Like, I know him being a dick, and they even talk about, like, his girlfriend's like, you totally changed. You are an asshole now. But yeah, she stays with him. She knows he's cheating, but she stays with him. So some of that is her own fault, I think, too. Like, thinking she can change him, but he's like, yeah, old me was just doing clubs, smoking a cigarette, and not being able to pay the bills. Now new me has live shows.
I make $100K a year.
I made $100K in advertisements. Everybody loves my raunchiness, and it's like, you're just a dick.
I didn't feel any remorse for him.
It's kind of like karma came and got him in the ass. So
Go ahead.
I thought it was cool how, like, he was so not redeemable that you actually were kind of rooting for the guy to turn him into a walrus. Like, Jake's like, I can't fucking wait to see this guy turn into a walrus the whole movie.
I was on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, it's refreshing to kind of root for the villain like that. It happens sometimes, but more often than not, you're rooting for the protagonist.
see, like one movie I can think of where, not that I was rooting for the antagonist, but The Dark Knight, the Joker. I just wanted to keep seeing him on screen.
Well, it's because their dynamic was unfathomably awesome.
Mm-hmm. It has nothing that I want him to win or anything. It just was like, I love watching this guy.
You're fascinated by him.
Mm-hmm. But
well, and I think that's the way. Is it Michael Parks? Did I get their name wrong?
Yeah.
Michael Parks is just he plays such an enthralling character. Like, he's so interesting to see because he's super, like, loony.
If you liked Michael Parks in this, you need to watch Red State. He is so damn good in that film.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably put Red State above this, but I think they're it's not as absurd as this. The original ending that I know Kevin Smith has talked about for Red State, his alternate ending he had, that would have been fucking absurd as hell. But the actual ending is actually quite funny and dark. But
what was the original?
His alternate, you mean?
Yeah.
So, like, these horns are going off because, like, they invade, like, a compound, like what the people in Kansas do, those freaking religious fanatics in Kansas, Westboro.
Yeah.
And they invade this compound, and these horns start going off, and, like, everyone's freaking out. They're like, what are these horns? Why are they deafening? And they're like, it's God coming down. The angels are all coming. And, like, John Goodman, like, closes his eyes and, like, opens them, and, like, everyone is, like, dead. All the cops, all the, the practitioners there, everyone's dead but John Goodman. And he's just looking around, and then all of a sudden he looks and sees Michael Parks has a sword jammed straight through his chest. He drops to the ground, and then it's an angel standing there, Michael, and he goes, shh, flies up into the sky, and then you see the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse descend upon the compound.
That sounds badass.
Shit. Yeah, but they didn't have the money for that. So,
it almost sounded like Preacher at first.
But yeah, so it that was the alternate ending, but it doesn't. So, but he's like, we can't afford that. But the ending they still do is pretty damn funny. I found it great. But if you like Michael Parks, you should watch Red State because he goes all out in that film. He's a hell of a actor, I think, when he's given the chance to do his range.
Mm-hmm.
Any fun facts you guys found on this film?
You got Kev's daughter and Johnny Depp's daughter.
Mm-hmm. Which
working as clerks.
Nice.
Yeah, which I think was fitting. That and also I think is the reason Johnny Depp did this movie was because his daughter was acting in it. I mean, very small part. You see him, 2 times? 3 times?
Yeah. Who's the mother of that girl?
I could not tell you. I think she was either an actress or a model, but I don't remember. I think it was his first marriage, Johnny Depp's first marriage, but I don't remember.
Interesting.
Yeah, Harley Quinn Smith and is it Rose Ivy Depp?
That sounds right.
Well, Drew looks that up. My fun fact is Johnny Depp didn't actually take this as a film credit under his name. He took it under his character's name, Guy Lapointe. So in the credits, you will not see Johnny Depp. It will say Guy Lapointe. And then even in the rolling credits, it says Guy Lapointe as Guy Lapointe. So,
this has to be the only movie based on a podcast, right?
I'm sure it's one of the very few, if there are any others.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's got that going for him.
Yeah.
This movie took only 15 days to shoot.
Yes, it did.
Holy shit.
And then I also read Justin Long's agent told him don't do this movie, but he said him and Kevin had worked on several films before. I think they are actually decent friends.
Live Free or Die Hard.
Live Free, Die Hard. Zack and Miri. I thought there was one more they did together, but I could be wrong.
He's great in Zack and Miri.
He is. Oh gosh, him
and Brandon Routh.
Mm-hmm. They are hilarious, and then especially during the end credits scene when they're doing the whole Zack and Miri film productions thing. That was great. How he was going into that. I love the hell out. I actually really enjoy Justin Long as an actor.
Yeah, he's not doing a ton anymore.
No,
but I think he's competent.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Long.
Yeah.
I liked him and a lot of the stuff he's done.
But I think he did this because he wanted to see what Kevin could do with the film. It seemed like they had a good time.
Lily Rose Melody Depp is her name. Mother is a French singing sensation, Vanessa Paradis.
There you go. I know they're not together anymore, or if they ever were married, but yeah. The girls were decent though. Now they have their own movie. Kevin Smith. Another fact: Kevin Smith is following this up, I guess, with it. This is supposed to be part of a trilogy. He's calling the True North trilogy. He already has Yoga Hosers filmed. It's supposed to come out this year in 2016. It's been pushed back once or twice already, but I know then the last one's supposed to be titled Moose Jaws, and it's supposed to be Jaws but with a moose. Which Jake?
We have to do it.
It's not gonna be one of the in theater ones, like on screen.
We may have to go to the theater.
Well, the Yoga Hosers, that one is based on another Smodco podcast that they did. So I don't know if him and Moj just like sit down and wax poetic about the things they want to see as films, or...
I know Kevin, though, before he did Tusk, he did Red State because he did Cop Out and Red State because he wanted to do films that weren't his norm.
Yeah.
Like he had never done a big actual feature for a studio.
Well, and a lot of his movies revolve around just mainly dialogue, like two, 3 people sitting down and having conversation.
His View Askew universe.
And his dialogue is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I said, like, when Jake was laughing the whole time, it's like, I'm kind of missing some of Kev's dialogue, because there isn't much in this film.
No.
And you have Michael Parks waxing poetic with it, and, yeah.
You could have rewinded.
We have a deadline.
Do we?
No, not really. But, no, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, some of it he does dredge on, so not all of it's great, but some of it is pretty decent stuff he talks about.
I think it's just a testament to how good of an actor he is, where he could be given something that isn't all that interesting, but the way that he sells it is interesting to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Yeah. But I'm not sure where he... And I heard a rumor about Moose Jaw, like... Supposedly Jay and Silent Bob are going to show up in Moose Jaw. But, yeah.
But not Yoga Hosers?
Not Yoga Hosers. But they are going to be connected. Like, Johnny Depp makes another appearance in Yoga Hosers. Haley Joel Osment, Justin Long, Genesis Rodriguez. Those 3 all show back up. Michael Parks obviously
Justin
doesn't.
Long going to be a weird walrus in the background of a scene?
We didn't say like what the ending was.
Oh yeah, we didn't. We kind of skimmed over that.
Oh god.
To me, it was kind of a bad ending. But Justin Long, it says 1 year later, after his friends and Johnny Depp stumble upon him after he's murdered Michael Parks. It looks like Johnny Depp's going to shoot him. Fades to black says 1 year later, Haley Joel Osment and Genesis Rodriguez walk up on this animal sanctuary.
And I was already laughing.
Yeah, Jake's already busting his stitches. And they're carrying a mackerel in this paper. And they're trying to coax Justin Long out of his cave. And eventually they throw it down and he comes out and they get him to cry because he remembers his old life. But then they're
like, that's what separates us from the animals, is the ability to cry.
They had to shoehorn in that last little tidbit.
Mm-hmm. And then you just see a tear stream down Justin Long's face, and he's like, oh!
That's also bullshit, because animals do cry. Elephants cry.
Yeah. And then he saunters back into his little hole, and and then the end credits is this beach ball floating around in this little pool. But
that's not a bad life.
Really?
He's got his own ball. He's got fish. He's a fucking walrus.
His girlfriend comes and visits him every once in a while.
Listen, I've never been a walrus, so I can't knock it until I try it.
You never go full walrus, Jake.
You never go.
Oh god.
Which I think was a line in this film. Didn't somebody say you're gonna?
I think Michael Parks says it. He's like, you either die full walrus, or you're gonna die, or you're not gonna live anymore. Something to that effect.
Making this movie had to have been fucking amazing. Like, I don't know how many takes you'd have to do before I stopped laughing. Like, if I was Justin Long...
You're sitting in that suit, and you're like...
Dude, I'd be laughing in the background of every shot.
I almost want to see, like, the special features, or if they have any outtakes of him in the walrus suit.
I know there was a picture of him when they did the scene where, before he's in the suit, but it shows him all stitched together, and he's, like, smiling in that. It was pretty funny, but, yeah, they have a still of him just, like, You can't see what I'm doing, obviously, as a listener, but yeah.
I would love for like Kev to be just fucking with him the whole time and be like, Justin, I need you to show more emotion in this scene. No, more!
I need to feel it from your soul.
But, before we do our entertainment scale, favorite Kevin Smith film, since we are talking Kevin Smith. I personally, it's between Dogma and Clerks 2.
I'm Clerks 2.
Dogma.
Man, no one with Jane Silent Bob Strike Back?
No.
Or
Dude, Dogma's deep. Like, deeper than most people realize.
No, it is.
And just the fact that you can ponder that much about all the intricacies of religion and all that, he's not, and the whole thing, he's not even trying to say religion is bad. No,
he's just having fun. But he also has some messages.
Probably one of the greatest lines I've ever heard, it comes from Chris Rock in this movie. And he says, people have died in the name of God for more people have died in the name of God than for any other reason. And he goes, people will kill for a belief, but it's better to have ideas.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like, that was like, whoa.
But, I mean, Chasing Amy is a great film, though. That, Mallrats I haven't seen.
Mallrats is
good. I like Mallrats.
It's good. I could see somebody not liking it, but...
See, I saw Clerks 2 before I saw Clerks. But I really enjoyed Clerks, but I thought Clerks 2 was so much better. And I don't know if that's just because...
Clerks 2 is... I mean, they're both classics, but I thought 2 was superior.
And then
2 is great.
Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Zack and Miri's fucking up there, too. I'd probably put it second.
I couldn't watch Cop Out.
No, Cop Out's not good.
That's not really a view... Oh, I guess you're not saying view askew. You're
just
saying
Kevin Smith
movies.
films. Jersey Girl, I will defend. I enjoy Jersey Girl.
It's okay.
Yeah. I think Ben Affleck did a good job. I'm kind of glad they got rid of J-Lo early. George Carlin's a great father figure in that.
I like
George
him in all the
Carlin's
other
just
movies.
great.
I love him in all the other movies that Kevin Smith has him in. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. He's that.
I'll take a shot in the mouth if it gets me. But yeah. All right, so entertainment scale. I'll go first. Before I rewatched it, I was actually going to go around a 6.8, which was going to be a little low. But now having rewatched it and just kind of more seeing the humor in it, I'm going to go more like a 7.6. It's very fun. I guess it has some horror elements to it, but like you say, don't take it seriously. Just have fun with the film. And most of these characters, there's not much redeeming quality about them. I mean, Johnny Depp's character probably has the most redeeming qualities, and he doesn't show up till like the last half hour. But it has great runtime, some stilted acting, but otherwise just a fun film, especially watching with friends.
I'm going to give it a 6.8, I think. It's really enjoyable. It's a lot funnier than I thought it would be, but if you go into it wanting a horror movie, you're probably not going to get what you wanted. If you go into it just being like, hey, I just want to be entertained by something, and you have that sense of humor. I think it's really important with this movie, more so than maybe any other movie, that you kind of know Kevin Smith's style and what he finds interesting and funny, and if you enjoy Kevin Smith and his movies, then you could probably go into it and have a good time. Not that you couldn't if you didn't, but a frame of reference might be safe.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the acting was not great. I think... Actually, I rate it higher because the main character is so fucking unredeemable, because I don't think he should have been redeemable. That ending is a little disappointing, that they tried to throw in the morality of, animals, they don't cry because they don't have souls and blah, blah, blah. And then a tear rolls down his walrus face and you're like, what the fuck? Like, where's this coming from? But, no, it's it's fucking weird. Like, if you just want to watch a movie that I can legitimately say is unlike any other movie you've seen, then...
If Jake says it's weird, it's fucking weird.
This movie's weird. But it was a good weird. Like, it's one of those, I was happy somebody got that weird.
This is like when we did Sir of Echoes, and she said, "Oh, you want weird? I can get weird." Yeah, and Jake's like, "Yep, all right."
I'm in.
10.
Yes.
No, it's weird. Like, I cannot stress enough how fucking strange this movie is. And it's not something that I could give to anyone else, but if you have a friend, watching their face when Justin Long is revealed in this walrus suit might be the greatest thing that you'll ever get.
That's probably like your favorite part.
Christmas comes early when you watch your friend's face when that unfolds. Because, what the fuck? Like, I half expected it, but still seeing it, my brain was like, that ain't right. That ain't right at all. And I can't wait to show that to somebody else. I just have to convince them to sit in a chair and watch this movie.
And then you just sit and watch their face?
Well, the whole time. Yeah, I'll just sit and look up at them as they watch the movie, because that's creepy. But no, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. It isn't perfect, but it's what I wanted it to be.
Like I said before, I had no interest in watching this movie. Am I glad I watched it? Absolutely. This movie was a roller coaster of emotions for me. So in saying that, I give this movie a 7 out of 10. There are a lot of faults with it, and like Jake said, you have to be in a Kevin Smith mindset, knowing where he's coming from, knowing that he's not taking it seriously. Like, a lot of the stuff is just he's being Kevin. Like, it's his humor. But I was thoroughly entertained throughout the whole movie. I did not think I was going to get this kind of enjoyment out of a human centipede-esque walrus movie.
I never knew I wanted that.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know.
Nothing will fill the void that was just created.
No, probably not. I do think it's better if you have to watch it with people. This is not a movie where you can curl up on a Saturday night with a bucket of ice cream and just watch. Like, you have to have people around.
You know what I just thought? What if some shit-faced guy in New York or something just wandered into a theater one evening and watched this fucking movie? Just went into it totally blind, and they're like, what the fuck is happening right now?
I'll do you one better. How about some geriatrics wander into this movie?
Oh, man.
God.
That's my favorite thing.
That
old man in Borat. Oh, my God.
Just to see the looks on their faces.
You heard me laugh just remembering that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my God.
Like, you want shock and awe. You're going to get that.
Like I said, the people who sat in front of me, I think they were looking for a horror movie of some sort, and they were like, what the fuck did we just watch?
Did anybody dip out?
No one dipped out.
Good.
No one dipped out. But I think they were kind of shocked at what they just watched. And
Well,
yeah,
that's normal.
But, yeah, I mean, me and my friend, we both enjoyed it. We're like, it wasn't as much of a horror as we thought it was going to be, but we both really enjoyed it. I thought it wasn't getting... It got worse reviews than it probably deserved, at least via Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, it's a 55 on Metacritic, which means it got average mixed reviews.
It was really bad on IMDb too.
IMDb was a 5.4.
Yeah.
And then on Rotten Tomatoes, it's like a 39%.
But I mean, all these people aren't
No.
looking at it from Kev's perspective, and I mean, this is a movie that he wanted to do, and it's not like he did this with the mindset that, oh, people are gonna herald this as a great film.
Yeah, this was not Oscar bait.
No. Absolutely not. This is like the antithesis of Oscar bait.
Yeah, it's a B movie.
It's a pet project, and he had fun with it.
And it shows. Everything about it shows.
There's good to be found in this.
Yes.
I do think it got a harsher rep than it should have.
I don't know how many more times I would watch this movie, but the initial ride was fantastic.
I think this is one you give it a couple years, and then you just pop it in one day, and
Maybe,
you're like,
yeah.
fuck yeah. Let's get some walrus shit going.
Or you talk to your friends or something like that, and you're like, you never see Tusk? Oh, we're watching Tusk.
That was me.
Yeah.
I thank you.
You're most welcome.
I don't thank you for a lot of things you've made me sit through on this show.
I've only picked... This is only my third movie I picked.
That's true. I was more horrified by Spies Like Us than this movie. I'm like, turning a guy into a walrus? Alright.
It's like, that's a Thursday for me.
You know what's weird? Dan Aykroyd in a movie.
And again, my apologies to John Goodman and comparing him to Dan Aykroyd earlier in this pod.
Jesus Christ.
You've seen what John Goodman will do to somebody.
Yes, I have.
Get in the tub. Go see 10 Cloverfield Lane.
That's a great movie.
Alright, well, I think that will wrap up this week. Drew's pick or your pick next week, Jake?
That's me.
Jake.
I am going to pick Contact. I've been putting it off for a long time now. Actually, I was planning on showing it to you before Gattaca, and then I determined Gattaca should be watched first.
Well, hell, you mentioned Event Horizon a long time ago as well.
That might be next. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, I want to watch that movie.
Here's the deal. If you leave comments and you want Event Horizon in a couple weeks, I'll make it happen. If I don't hear anything again, because you're antisocial motherfuckers like you are right now, I'm abusing the listeners. The listener. No, leave us a comment. Give us ideas. If you want to see Event Horizon, if you want us to cover that, we could cover that. If not, I'm probably going to push that back. But next week, yeah, I pick Contact. You guys need to watch it. Jodie Foster, it's great.
Quick reference. I know why I got Dan Aykroyd and John Goodman mixed up. They did Blues Brothers 2000
Jesus.
together.
No.
Which will be my next pick.
No.
I am kidding. We
No.
will not.
Turn into a fucking walrus.
No.
Well, from all of us at TJD, hashtag walrus yes. I'm Ty.
Jake.
And I'm Drew.
Like and subscribe. We'll see you next week.
Like and subscribe.